Hey, it's Bree, and you're getting ready with me. If you've been here before, thanks for stopping by. And if you're new here, go ahead and click that red button and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell for notifications, because I know after this video, you guys are going to want to see Bree all the time, every time I upload. Honestly, you guys, between my binge watching of the Game of Thrones and my daily mental breakdowns, I have not had the energy to really sit down and formally film a video for you guys. The live streams are amazing and we really are bonding and learning so much about each other, but it's about time for me to get back in front of this camera and really tell you guys what's going on in my life. I already filmed one Get Ready With Me where I told you guys why I got fired, and now I'm back with another Get Ready With Me because I can't find a job. After I share these stories with you guys about my most embarrassing job interviews, I think we're gonna come to the conclusion that I might as well stick to YouTube, because it might just be me. Not being able to find a job has me so beyond grateful for the sponsor of today's video, Chic Mogul. Chic Mogul is a website geared towards people who are dedicated to starting their own online boutiques. If you're like me and you're tired of going on these job interviews, you're tired of wasting your energy at a 9 to 5, and you're ready to be your own boss, Chic Mogul is a website that will give you step-by-step guides on how to start, maintain, and market your business. Chic Mogul is your one-stop shop to becoming a successful business owner, offering products such as how to build a business plan and even assisting with how to create your own web page and design logo. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Why sign up to go to a class at night when you can sign up for Chic Mogul and get everything that you would get in a business class at community college right in the palm of your hands? If you're like me and the idea of making money off of your phone is something that keeps you up at night, then Chic Mogul is something that we all should sign up for. Not only does Chic Mogul give you the knowledge and the tools to make sure that you get your business started from the ground up, they also go ahead and connect you to over 200 vendors, baby. Whether you want to start a lash line, sell bundles, or get that Instagram boutique popping with all the thotty clothes, Chic Mogul will make sure to connect you with reputable vendors so we could bring your dream of financial stability to life. We've talked about this before on my channel, and that's why I was so excited to team up with Chic Mogul, because I know how many girls just like myself dream of quitting their jobs and starting their own business. So when Chic Mogul reached out to me with the opportunity to tell you guys about their services, I felt like it was my duty to bring this to you guys' attention, because like I said, why sign up for a night class when you could get all of this information in the palm of your hands? I believe in every girl and every person in the world chasing their destiny, and so does Chic Mogul. So honestly, I think all of us should sign up today. But nonetheless, let's get ready. So if you guys have seen my Get Ready With Me's before, you already know how we start off. We're gonna tone my face with some witch hazel. Then we're gonna go in with some moisturizer and the infamous Mario Badescu Rose Water, baby girl. So let's get into it. Honestly, filming Get Ready With Me's give me major anxiety, because how do girls take a process that could take up to 2 hours and shrink it down to a video that's like 14 minutes? Like, if somebody could teach me, I would definitely love a lesson. No, but real shit, you guys, like, there have been so many videos that I have filmed where I basically talk about, oh, I think I should just be like a full-time YouTuber, and I'm like always overly optimistic about my future and my channel. And to be honest, I have just not been feeling that way, you guys. Like, it's really crazy to me, because I spent the whole end of last year and the beginning of this year, I was so completely dedicated to being a full-time YouTuber. And now that, you know, now that I have other dreams outside of YouTube, it makes sense for me to go out there and get an adult job so I could be able to fund, you know, like my outside endeavors and my outside passions, or additional passions that I have to this channel. And it just sucks that now that I'm finally like, oh, okay, I'm serious, I'm going to get a real job, now all of a sudden I can't find one. I really don't know what I'm going through at this period in my life, and that's why I'm making this video, because I feel like it's really important to self-reflect and to look back at those times in your life where you really didn't know what was going to happen next. And I feel like that's where I am. Like, I don't know what's going to happen next, you know what I'm saying? And it just feels good that I'm a millennial and I'm alive when I'm alive, because at least I can complain about it online. I don't know. I'm just in a place in my life where I'm like, let's find out if I should just stick to this YouTube shit. So I'm just gonna tell you guys my most embarrassing job interviews, starting with the most recent one, because let's be honest, all of them together inspired this video right here. I've been on a lot of bad job interviews, but there are 3 particular job interviews that really stick out to me to the point where I was like, you know what? We have to turn this into a video, sis. So my face is prepped. I went ahead and toned and moisturized my face. Now I'm going to go in with my favorite Hourglass Vanish Seamless Foundation Stick. And I'm going to go ahead and go over it with the L'Oreal True Match Foundation. I told you guys on my live stream recently that I don't have foundations that are exactly my color. What am I, British? I'm telling you, I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones. I don't have any foundation that's like exactly my color, but as of recently I found that these 2 colors are the best that I can get, so we're gonna stick with this. I forgot to wet my beauty blender. So the first story I'm gonna tell you guys about my most embarrassing job interview is actually the most recent. Like, this took place about like 3 weeks ago, because you know how when I did my Get Ready With Me and I was telling you guys that I work for a temp agency? Well, yeah, I haven't really been getting long-term assignments with the temp agency, and I'm not complaining, you know what I'm saying, because I've decided to look for my own job. If the temp agency isn't going to give me what I'm looking for, then I'm fully able and I have the resume to go out here and find my own job, and that's what I've been doing. It was a brand that I'm actually familiar with, because when I used to work at Urban Outfitters, they were featured in Urban Outfitters, so I knew what the brand was. I was feeling about as confident as anybody would feel, except I'm Brianna Lay, so I was probably feeling a little bit overconfident, to be honest. So I go on my job interview, and the girl who initially like invited me to the interview, I thought that she was just like a regular receptionist. I didn't know that she was going to be interviewing me as well, so that kind of like threw me off, but it was okay. Like, if you've been to an interview, sometimes you have to interview with 2 people, so it didn't throw me all the way off where I was just acting like an idiot. At least not yet. So one of the things that I do at job interviews is lie. I lie to jobs. I'm not the only person who lies to jobs. So we're not going to get in those comments and make it seem like you've never lied about your qualifications so you could get a position that you know damn well you weren't even ready for. Usually when I lie in a job interview, it's obviously to make me look better, to make me look more qualified. But this was not, girl, this was the wrong interview to come with my lies. That's all I'm gonna say. It comes to the part where we have to go down my resume and talk about my work experience at like every job that I've ever had. When it comes time to talk about one particular brand that I worked with, girl, I over exaggerated my position. And let me go more in depth, okay? I made it seem like I was executive assistant to the CEO. I made it seem like I booked her flights when she had to go meet with, you know, vendors or wholesalers. I made it seem like I was holding meetings with customers and brand representatives, and I made myself and my duties seem way more than what they actually were. Make a long story short, knowing damn well what I actually did. But you know what? History is a bunch of lies, and the government lies to us all the time. So I can't really take any L's for that, because I was just trying to get ahead. Now this is important, The companies that the temp agency has sent me to work with, they're like smaller brands. They're not like Forever 21s, Urban Outfitters. They're not big brands. They're small brands with like dedicated fan bases. This particular brand that I was lying about my responsibilities on, they're one of those brands where it's like, oh, if you know, you know. When I go ahead and explain the company, the girl who I wasn't even expecting to interview me, the one who invited me to the interview, she was like, oh yeah, we know all about that company. They're actually working with us right now. We're in partnership. And instantly I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm not getting this job. The girl who I wasn't even expecting to interview me, like the receptionist chick, she didn't look at me for the rest of the interview. Like the rest of the interview, she was just on her MacBook, like typing. And I'm like, I know that this girl is sending an email right now directly to the CEO, because I just sat here and made it seem like I worked closely with the CEO. To me personally, the worst part was the fact that the brand that I interviewed with, they make fucking ice cream cookies. The company that I lied about my responsibilities to, they make like sleepwear. Why would a company that makes sleepwear partner with a company that makes ice cream sandwiches? You really think I was expecting that? That partnership don't even make sense. Let me tell you guys what I actually did, because I told you guys what I lied about my responsibilities. Let me tell you guys my actual responsibilities. I was actually a processing assistant. All I did was print orders and ship orders that were made online. That's all I did. I made it seem like it was my responsibility to build business relationships. Girl, my only relationship was with the postman. That was my only relationship. Making sure that I knew when our postman was going to go on vacation and the exact time that he was going to come every day. And let me tell you something. I couldn't even do that right. Do you think I got a call back? Do you really think I got a call back? I didn't. But let's go on to my second most embarrassing story, because y'all know me, it just does not stop there. So this second job interview that I went on, this was like right after I graduated high school. So I was like, you know, still stupid. This particular job interview that I went on was one of my first ever job interviews to be administrative assistant. Like before this, I only worked retail. That's all I did. Retail and telemarketing. The only gag is the night before I had this job interview, I decided to go out and party. Typical Brie. Now, if you know anything about me, I don't just drink. I drink myself to the verge of alcohol poisoning. This is what's crazy. Usually when I drink, I wake up in the middle of the night and vomit like I'm literally from The Exorcist. But this particular day, I woke up fine. I was mixing a lot. Like, what do you mean I'm totally fine this morning? But you know what? I don't put a question mark where God put a period. So I'm just going to get ready to go to this interview. And I remember that this interview was downtown. I was just going to go to the interview and I was going to go to class because I went to school downtown. I get on the train, I go to this interview, and I'm about like 15 minutes early, which is rare for me because I'd rather be exactly on time or 5 minutes late. But I was 15 minutes early. And the receptionist lady, she was really nice. She was really friendly. She was just like, oh, you know what? Like, you're going to have to wait. It was definitely like one of those Craigslist ad jobs where it's like they over invite people to interviews. It was one of those. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to wait. No big deal. I feel fine. And of course, my body was like, oh no, honey. Here's the gag. After about waiting in the reception area for 8 minutes, my body was like,
got him!
All of the liquor that I mix, clear, brown, beer, and otherwise, came back to haunt me in that reception area at that job interview. So after about like 8 minutes of waiting my turn, watching people come in and out of interviews, I slowly start to get slumped, y'all. I don't know if it's gonna come out the front or if it's gonna come out the back, but I'm not feeling too good right here, right now. Sorry, y'all. I did my eyebrows off camera because that takes a little bit more concentration for me these days. But Make a long story short, I threw up all over that reception area. I sat my ass in that chair, let all of it come up, build up. I'm looking at trash cans. I'm like, where is this gonna come out? And you know where it came out? In the center of that waiting area. Then I went home. Now that you know that I have lied at a job interview and been embarrassed, thrown up at a job interview and been embarrassed, now I can tell you about the time where I was tested at a job interview and left embarrassed. This job opportunity was another position to be administrative assistant. And to be honest, I don't even really know what this company did, like, to this day. All I remember as I get into this contour was the conversation on the phone where she was like, oh, like, so how would you rate your skills in Excel? And, you know, I lied about my skill set at Excel. I'm thinking to myself, girl, I'm a millennial. I spent all my life in computer lab, on computers, PC and Mac. What is Excel? So I show up early to this interview. I looked the part, and initially they were like hella happy to see me. Like, they were so excited to be interviewing with me because my energy on the phone was like so amazing. I'm amazing. How many times do I have to say that throughout this video? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I was actually in the interview where things started to go downhill. This was another job interview where there were two people interviewing me. So there was like a woman, and then there was like, I guess, the other lady who I was gonna work. I feel like the lady who I was gonna work directly under was interviewing me, and her boss was interviewing me. The interview goes well. They asked me about my work experience, typical interview questions. Why do you want to work here? What are you looking for? What's your pay rate? Things going well. I'm dominating it. I'm killing it. And then one of the ladies gets up and walks out the room. And I'm like, okay, let me just make small talk with this girl. So I'm making small talk with the lady that's still in the room, and she's like, oh yeah, like, she just went to go get your desktop. We're gonna test your Excel skills now. So I'm like looking at her like,
Oh, like right now?
honestly, I don't know if I was high or if I had been drinking when I did that phone screening, when I did that phone interview, but I'm pretty sure that it was clearly communicated to me that I would be tested on the spot if I went to that job interview. But I was still sitting there at that moment faking enthusiasm. Like, I had to pretend like I was excited to be tested at a job interview. And I had never previously been tested on the spot for any position before. So you can imagine what I was really feeling like on the inside. Everything that I was feeling, all the fear and anxiety, I refused with the strength of all my ancestors to let that show on my face that I was absolutely petrified, because I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting. I just didn't think I was going to be tested on the spot. I thought I was going to have time to, like, at least finesse and make it seem like I knew more than I did. You know what I'm saying? Or I thought that my personality would shine and I wouldn't have to take the test at all. Somebody make it make sense. And I gotta laugh at myself at this point, because she comes back in the room, she gives me my computer, y'all, and I was stalling. Like, girl, it took me like 5 years to open up the computer. You would think that I had never saw a laptop in my life. I had them help me get into the like, you know, like the password. They were telling me the password. I was like, what is it? Like, girl, I was acting like I couldn't even get into the computer. Oh my gosh. But I remember that I had one lady standing behind me so she could see like my fingers and like what I was actually typing in to get the commands, and another lady was watching me on a remote, like she was watching me on another desktop, I guess, like screen watching, I don't know, but she could see what I was doing from her computer on her screen, and the other lady was watching me like literally go through it with my fingers, you know? So obviously I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and that just made me even more nervous, because I'm like, oh, okay, so I got two people watching over me, one girl, like I have two people seeing how actually dumb I am. So one of the commands I specifically remember from this test was they wanted me to like type out like some random words and then use Excel to alphabetize like everything that I listed, okay? Now, if anybody has ever worked in an office, you know that alphabetization on Excel is like 101. It's like sitting here telling this story, I am cringing so hard, because since then I have had so many jobs that require knowledge with Excel, and just the fact that at the time I didn't even know how to alphabetize. I didn't even know how to put things in order. And I just, oh my God. Like, you guys, if you only knew how long I was really sitting there, I was clicking anything. I was desperate. I was so desperate not to look stupid that I was clicking on stuff that was far more advanced than alphabetization. It got to the point where the lady who was behind me literally was like, okay, just for future reference, I'm gonna show you how you do it, but we're gonna move on to the next command. They saw me as a joke, bitch, because why did 2 more people come into my job interview? It was a man and another woman, and they came in and sat in on my interview. Now, I don't know if the lady who was like watching me like through remote desktop, I don't know if she was on Slack telling people like, you have to come in and see this idiot. But at the end of the interview, girl, when I walked out, my head was hanging so low. I just want to pause the story right here while I put on my lashes and give a shout out to the kissing booth, because I have been getting so many compliments on these lashes. And if you guys are interested, I'm gonna go ahead and put the information on the screen as well as in the description box below, so you guys can go ahead and get your lashes, because I've worn these about like 3 times, and these are like my favorite lashes right now, seriously. So, girl, if you feel like sending me some more, I got you. I got you. You know, I think back on that job interview a lot. And I asked myself, why did they keep me until the very end? Like, was I literally that hilarious? You know, usually I tell myself, oh, you know, who cares? I'm never going to see these people again. Who cares if I lied to them? Who cares if they never call me back? I'm never going to see them again. Like, it's totally fine. But for some reason, when I left this particular job interview, that idea was not enough for me. I called and texted every single person that loves and cares about me, because that interview was that traumatizing. I honestly couldn't believe that I embarrassed myself to that extent, and for a job. That doesn't even sound like me. So I'm done getting ready. And those are my most embarrassing job interviews, you guys. Honestly, I don't know what's next for me, and that's why I love this channel and I love this journey, because when I don't know what's gonna happen next in my life, I can document it, and I can have like a point of reference to go back and look and be like, you know what? Remember when you didn't know what was gonna happen next and now you're here? And it's crazy, because if you've really been watching my channel, how many times have I said, oh, I'm just gonna do YouTube full time. I wish I could do YouTube full time. And now I have the opportunity and I want a job so I could be able to take my channel to the next level. I definitely feel like I'm just young and I'm at a fork in the road. You know, like you know what I'm saying. I can't even find the words. But if you guys like this video, go ahead and turn that thumbs up. Blue, support your girl. Get those fingers moving in the comments below and give me words of encouragement and tell me your stories about how you can relate, because this shit is getting ridiculous, you guys. It's stupid, and you know what? I want to hear about it in those comments below. With that being said, I love you guys so much. Always remember that we are on this journey together, and I'll see you in the next video. Till next time.